starting again. Now we're starting. Right. Good morning. Hey, it's Shay. The time is 8:11, and today we are going to watch Formula Drift at Okayama International Circuit. I'm going to be doing a voiceover because I was listening to normal music in the car and it's probably copyrighted, so I hope I don't get in trouble for any bits that are left in here. But if somehow it does pick up and the Carpenters come after me, honestly, wouldn't even be mad. It would be such an honor to have the Carpenters come after me. Legit, they've been life-saving. So you know what? Just take my proceeds, all right? But anyways, I'm actually sitting in a parking lot right now. It is Tuesday. The time is 9:33 p.m. It's been a long-ass day. I just finished work, went to the pool, made some dinner. It was some grown-up KD, and I am parked with my right window open to the street so I can bring you the most authentic Japanese road experience possible on a voiceover. And I'm hoping that any bits that I do leave, because my buddy's car has a pretty amazing exhaust, but this video is probably going to stay unlisted because I also did some illegal shit. Sorry, Mom. This video also is kind of long, so I do apologize for those with a short attention span. I am going to put some timestamps in after. Today, I just want to share the story of how I fell in love with cars, my first love. If anybody remembers my Insta stories from this event back in November, and yeah, this was my first drift event ever, so I was super excited this day, also a little bit nervous, but I'm going to go ahead and stamp any other epic scenery that comes up, so please check out the comment box if you only want the bestest that I have to offer. I mean, I do gotta say though, if you can't handle me at my not my best, then bruh. My best is literally the same, except I probably did my hair and put on eyelashes. No, I did not borrow that quote from Marilyn Monroe. But yeah, I really love the drive from this day, and it's actually like June now, so it's taken me a while to go through this footage, just because of my technology deficiencies. So I feel like I'm watching this video again with fresh eyes because I can barely remember what happened. I just know that it was a beautiful scenic drive. The light was coming through the trees just so stunningly, and I would say about 40% of the original footage was me like ranting about the road conditions, because I was honestly shocked. I don't know if I could say, maybe I was appalled at the conditions of these roads. But yeah, needless to say, it was beautiful. It did remind me a little bit of Stanley Park, just because of how green it was, with forests on both sides of the roads. Shout out to anybody from Vancouver. Appreciate y'all watching and supporting from afar. But yeah, this was my first ever drift event, and I was actually kind of nervous going there for the first time, so I actually asked my two buddies in the car in front to just keep an eye out for me because I tend to wander when I'm nervous, and I was at a rave once in Toronto and I ended up just going randomly hiking up the hill by myself just to look at clouds, making new friends on said hill, while the rest of my friends were just wondering where the hell I went. I missed all of my favorite artists. I don't even remember what DJs were playing, but I missed basically every single one that I had gone to see. I just remember lying down on the grass, looking up at the sky and being so happy that I legitimately shed a tear while lying on the ground. Like, music is literally life to me. No music, no life. 100%. I would not give up music for the world. I've actually got earbuds in on my left ear so I can listen to music while making this voiceover. And I've also got over-the-ear headphones on top of that so that I can hear the original audio just to get like a glimpse back of the vibes I was going through. But yeah, it was scenic. The actual music that I was listening to that day was some like classics, oldies, Carpenters, like I said. It was the best of both worlds. Yeah, I don't know, just really need music. But anyways, the roads are narrow as hell, and like I said, the majority of this video was me just ranting about how narrow it was for an international circuit. International means people from all over the world visit this place, right? And the first time I ever came to Okayama Circuit, this was my second time in this footage, but the first time I thought I would just taken a wrong road because that often happens with Mr. Google Teacher in Japan. But this was my second time back, and it was still wild, and I wasn't even that cambered out, but I can't imagine like cars that have been lowered and fully stanced out going through these roads, because as you can see from the camera, they're kind of shaky. They're not super smooth roads, and I wasn't even cambered out back then, so I was kind of nervous driving. I don't know, I just feel like personally it would be a little anxiety inducing just to have these very rickety rackety roads in like a nice car, and I couldn't see the other sides. Like, there's not really signs or anything. There's some mirrors here and there, but genuinely was like laughing my butt off at the audacity of them to dub themselves an international circuit. I mean, just like look at how narrow these roads are. I know I've talked about how narrow roads are in Kyoto in one of my past videos, and how the streetlights are inside the white lines. I feel like you wouldn't even have room for the street lamps on these roads for some parts. They were just so narrow. And I actually did look up the attendance numbers for Okayama International Circuit, and I believe it was for an event in like 5 years ago, Super Formula or something like that, and there was 7,000 people in attendance. So if we just do some like really quick maths, and we're gonna keep it generous, like let's say 4 people to a car, 3 to 4 people in a car, which is basically doesn't really happen. Most people go by themselves or in pairs, some families I guess, but let's say 4 people per car, 7,000 divided by that, let's say something like, I don't know, 1 to 2,000 cars, let's just say 1 to 2,000 cars have to use this road to get to this event at multiple times in a year. Honestly, I was just like, I'm still shocked rewatching this. Like, I just want to know who designed this, because this is a big plot of land. They had to do, some groundwork, lay it out, prepare how many parking lots they need. And I've been inside. There's multiple parking lots, so they expect a lot of people, a lot of cars. So I just have so many the questions. Like, just tell me, why is it like this? What was the reason? What was the reason? But yeah, I wish I could have kept some of the original audio. The zooms were pretty good. Yeah, my buddy's got a nice exhaust, but I guess we're just gonna have to get new footage another time. But mostly I was just blasting my music, which is why I've also said, like, I don't really care about exhaust because I can't hear it. I'm listening to my music at max volume, and I was just vibing out to the trees, and I hope you can imagine that, the whole vibe of this forest. It was just so luxurious and so green. I believe this was like mid-October, and yeah, I went straight to Okayama after work on a Saturday, and I just remember like the sun setting on my way there, and it was so scenic. I was so excited for this drive, and just getting there, it was just before winter, so the roads were, you know, clear, the trees were lush and green. Again, wild ass narrow roads, like but yeah, hopefully still relaxing vibes. Like, it's definitely beautiful. I don't know. Okayama, one of my favorite places I've ever visited, for sure. I've been back a few times. A lot of car lovers in Okayama. But yeah, maybe at some point I'll do some videos with just like driving ASMR and no audio, so people can feel free to add their own music. I often wonder what kind of people, or what kind of music other people listen to when they drive. For me, it's always like a mix of different genres, like dance music or Vina house, sometimes really chill stuff, piano beats or instrumentals, a lot of hip hop, a lot of rap, some Japanese tunes, oldies, the oldies but goldies, like I said. On this day, I had my best of both playlist, which is 70s oldies and Japanese goldies. But yeah, I guess you'd have to join me on a cruise sometime to actually experience that. But it was truly vibes. Yeah, I don't know. The road was so beautiful. I think I was listening to the song called Mata au himare, which just means like until the next day we meet. And that was one of the very first Japanese songs I ever stumbled upon. Oh, there's Kyo-chan, I think, taking some pics out the window, got some rolling shots for me. Those were super dope. Thank you for those. I can't wait to get new rolling shots done now that I'm a little lower and my rims are a little cooler. But yeah, such a beautiful drive. Yeah, I remember this moment kind of listening to that song. It's like a total classic, like a super old song, probably from the 60s or 70s, but I stumbled upon it in the YouTube music rabbit hole, and it was just a freaking bop, and like one of those songs that everybody, no matter how old or young, has absolutely heard before. Oh, and before I get distracted, I should probably tell you the story of how I fell in love with cars. If anybody remembers that Insta story from like October, yeah, let's get into it. Once upon a time, there was a girl with very weird fashion, and she was watching a Korean drama called Boys Over Flowers, and that's Hana Yori Dango. I think that's a popular drama that everybody has probably heard of. But that Korean drama where this actor named Kim Bum, he was driving a orange Lotus Elise, and him and his other buddies, they were all driving Lotuses. One was yellow, one was black, and I just remember seeing that car and I was like, oh my god, I love cars. It's just so sleek, it's so sexy, and they say you never forget your first love, and though I've never forgotten Kim Bum, it's really the Lotus that comes to my mind more. And yeah, the thing is that Korean drama is actually based off of a Japanese drama, so I guess thanks Japan for my car obsession. and that I think was in high school. So ever since then, I used to go to car meets on the weekends. If anybody remembers the car meets in Vancouver, Marine Drive, in the Canadian Tire parking lot, I used to go there all the time. And whenever my car buddies would invite me out to stuff, like, I didn't even drive a cool car back then. I was in a 2005 Honda Accord, which, no lie, that car was a boss, okay? But yeah, I did not have a cool car. I would just be going out to see the R8s and GTRs, like literally getting off a plane and going to look at cars, like getting out of the club, going to cars, leaving the car meet, going to the club. Like, I was just obsessed, and I was constantly chasing like cool cars that I'd seen. I think my old Instagram feed back then was just like food and cars and all the random things I was doing in the summertime, like all the R8s I saw. That's when my obsession started. And shout out to my first BF as well, who introduced me to Tumblr, where I actually got to see and get exposed to all these like beautiful, stunning car pictures. And I think that's where it really solidified like my love of cars, especially the R8. My background for my computer and my phone are both R8s, and they have been for a solid 10 years. Another thing that's kind of been ongoing for a solid 10 years is this dream to do YouTube. And yeah, I guess they say it's better late than never, but oh, sorry, there's the illegal stuff. But I just want people to keep in mind that if you look into the mirror and look at my eyes and where they're pointing, like, I am fully concentrated. I keep my eyes on the road. So like, you know how driving instructors, they have a second mirror just to look where your eyes are looking? 97% of what I do in my car is based on feeling. So I could drive this car almost like subconsciously, maybe unconsciously, I don't know. But I can just, I don't know, I just feel like I'm one with the car sometimes, and I know where all the buttons are, and I can react pretty quickly to almost anything. It just feels like a part of me. I think that sounds really weird. Maybe other car people have felt similar ways to their cars. But yeah, I don't really function off of anything else but the feeling of the car. And there we have some incredibly beautiful scenery with the trees and the lights. Oh my god, I just remember the sunlight hitting the car, coming through the trees, and the HDR shots that I got, and oh, it was just so stunning. Like, the absolute vibes. Oh. Yeah, we're almost at the circuit. This was like about a 20-minute drive. I hope it didn't feel so long on video, and that you guys enjoyed the scenery. But yeah, it was seriously just beautiful. All of the views that I was able to see along the way. And I think I'm really lucky that Japan has so much scenery. Like, even though when you picture it, you kind of picture Tokyo or Osaka, where it's like big cities and so crowded and people getting stuffed into a train. Like, I have actually never seen that. All of those, I guess, the typical things you see on social media, like, those are definitely true, I would say. They're probably closer to maybe 10% of reality, because I personally never experienced any of that. But I also live in the countryside where just about fucking nothing happens. Yeah. That that day is definitely one that I never forget. And, you know, the goals that I had back then, becoming a drift driver, making $1 million, and buying a supercar. I mean, I technically have done 0 of those things, but I did learn how to drift in the snow. There was $1 million yenis in my bank account, and, you know, the Fair Lady Z might not be a supercar to some, but it's pretty fucking super to me. Like, every time I look at this car, it just cures like a solid 50% of depression, you know? The absolute audacity of Nissan to make such beautiful ass cars. Yeah, I'm super excited about my drive this weekend. Liberty Walks invited me out for a cruise, and I've also got another small meetup that I'm doing. So I'm really excited to meet other drivers and just, you know, make some friends with other people that love cars just as much as me, so maybe they get that feeling of excitement. But I know that even if people don't get it, I think they can still appreciate, or at the very least be entertained by it, because I feel like I'm entertained rewatching this. So I truly hope you are too, because I'm just here for a good time. I hope you all are too. If I can't promise you anything else, at the very least, I guarantee that you are gonna be entertained and you're gonna have a good time. Because that's all we're trying to have, is a good time, right? I'm a little bit on my crackhead vibes today. I just got back into town yesterday. I was in Himeji for some car stuff, still trying to fix the catalyst. And then I was in Kobe to get some stuff taken care of, and got back in town in time before some offices closed to take care of one last thing. Went to karaoke for like 2 hours just so I could take a nap, because I'd only slept 5 hours the night before. But yeah, we finally made it to the track, and I'm so glad to be able to share this with you guys. It's been so exciting just to rewatch this footage. I know it's taken me 6 months. I swear if I have more time on my hands, I'm going to try and upload things earlier and go through more of my old footage, because I have so much still to share. Just trying to make time to prioritize sharing these with you. Just not very good at technology, but you know, we're figuring things out. In this one, it's SHAY learns how to make a voiceover and hopefully sings it correctly and can upload it before another 6 months go by. But yeah, this was finally when we get to the circuit, and I was so excited. So excited. I don't know about you guys, but I love spoilers, so I'm just gonna give you one now. But I was so excited that I almost drove away without taking my change. It was like $50, so I don't know what the hell was going on, but I think I'm gonna leave the original audio back in, because the zooms be good, and I turned my music down a little bit so the parking attendants wouldn't think I'm nuts. This is probably, I mean, I've been to Tsukuba Circuit, Suzuka, and Central Circuit, and Fuji Speedway a bunch of times, but this one was probably, yeah, this was a first drift one, so I don't know, like, just, maybe there were more zooms, or I was going at like a more popular time, though, as you just saw, like, that maybe was the main road, and it ended up, I guess, being a good thing that we took this small narrow road, because we didn't have to wait through all that traffic. We were like the only two that came through that side. But yeah, I was so excited. Like, there were a bunch of parking lots and paddocks at the circuit, and I was hoping to go to paddock C because it has the best view at Okayama Circuit. You can see more of the interesting tracks. It has a higher vantage point and no fence at the edge, so I could drive my car right to the edge and park there and look over everything. But unfortunately this time that they only opened one parking lot because I guess it was a smaller event because of the pandemic. Vroom, mothafckas. Yeah, I just hope the parking attendants, I'm sure I'm probably not the first person that got so excited at the circuit that they almost drove away without their change. Do we hear that? That's some exciting shit right there. But yeah, I hope I can figure out how to fade that in if you're listening and watching to this now. Like, I guess I did it. I did it, Mom! Look! I did it! But yeah, I might stumble, but I definitely do not fumble the fucking bag, alright? I just get a little too excited sometimes. That's how I fucked up my cat in the first place. But yeah, hopefully that is going to go smooth. I have an exam next weekend, so as soon as that's done, I'm going to take care of the catalyst, get the inspection done.
Almost drove off without my change. I was just like, fuck!
But,
give me the ticket.
Yeah, just caught up with the buds and heading into the circuit. Once again, I hope that I don't get in trouble for any copyrights, but somehow if that happens, I guess I'll just say I'm honored to interact with anybody who has worked with these original artists, because they are truly classics and truly pieces of art. But yeah, probably not going to public these videos. My setup is not really to my standards, and I have promised to bring you guys only the best of what I have to offer, and every video that I put out, I want that to be my best and to keep going up from there, so you all have stuff to look forward to. I can't wait to show you more. Yeah, here we are at the circuit. It was still kind of early, I think around 9 a.m. or so, 9 or 10 a.m. and most people usually come later. The parking lot was pretty filled up by the time we left the circuit. Oh, I'm actually friends with that challenger. I didn't realize that until watching this footage now. I guess I'll send that over to him. But yeah, the results for the drift races and the finals were in the afternoon around like 2, 3, 4 p.m. So people tend to come later and just show up for semifinals. There are a lot of drivers and stuff going on in the morning. But look at that, spicy ass shit. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you had a good time and enjoyed the views. And stay tuned for next time. Until then, have an amazing time. Ta-ta for now. Yeet.